Yawa.
Oh yeah.
You're.
Oh yeah.
You hit the record button. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Joe, we born to die.
It's good, you already know.
I gotta love you. Y'all niggas keep your hands off. You know what I mean? What's the deal? Let's tell the friend, drop a gem on it.
Baloncesto,
We here. It's a pleasure, and without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. To the right of me, the one and only Manny Theo. Another applause, even though our applause, you know what I'm saying, was good, baby. You already appreciate you coming through and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Pardon me. We're gonna get right into it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's a pleasure to have you on and wanting to fuck with us. We got to give a shout out to Marvelous. We got to give a shout out to
big shout
Q
out.
Burrow Cuts. You know what I'm saying? For the plug in on that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Hooked it up.
Word. So that was the link in the chain
Word.
that brought us here today. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But Manny Theo in the building. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk brands. We're gonna talk music. We're gonna talk sports, hip hop, everything like that. Everything trending. But what I really want to start at is your background, because you know you got a real good following on the IG, on the YouTube. You know, you got a lot of good music. We're gonna play one of your tracks, definitely the one that's blowing up crazy since November that you dropped it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna play that at the end of the interview. But let's get into your background. Where you come from, where the roots at? Let's start right there, man.
Yeah, man. So, I was born in the Bronx, actually.
Oh, BX.
Yeah, BX. You know, boogie down.
Yeah, I grew up in the Bronx, Soundview.
Word,
you know what
word.
time it is, Castle Hill.
Where we
Shit.
stayed right off Gun Hill Road. I was born out in Mount Vernon.
Oh, word. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then me and my family moved to North Carolina when I was like 4 years old.
Oh, all
But
right.
please let my mom tell it. She'll let you know. Like from the time we left New York, I was always like, "Yo, when are we going back to New York? When are we going back to New York?"
Word.
And then I started making music. I wrote my first song, my first bars at like 8 years old.
Oh, 8 years
When-
old.
Yeah, when I
Okay.
It's funny because like it was always New York influence because like I had heard 50 Cent, The Massacre was like the first one of the first albums I ever heard, and I was like, who is this? Like, what is this shit?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
it's
I
different.
gotta be able to do this.
Now, what tracks were on that album? Was that the Candy Shop album? Or?
I think Candy Shop was on there. Damn, what else was on there?
Let's bring up the
Yo.
track list.
Fact.
Let's look at the
But,
track list.
Mine is Green Day, bro.
You know what's crazy?
Green Day Dookie is that's the first album that I knowingly remember having and listening to. Like,
Bro, you know what's crazy is like my first rap album was Here in the Massacre, but my first album was Linkin Park.
Ooh, okay.
Which- But it wasn't even like it was on some real like 90s 2000 shit because it was a Burn CD, bro. It wasn't even like I remember my dad had like a pink Burn CD.
CDR.
Yeah.
Word.
of Hybrid Theory.
Yeah.
And that was like my
Smudged
first like
fucking
album,
permanent marker on the shit.
Literally,
Yeah,
bro.
some Sharpie shit written on it.
Literally,
Yeah.
bro. So that was my first like, cause I wasn't allowed to listen to rap like that. So me even finding 50 Cent was like me being at school and my boy being like, "Yo, listen to this album that just came out."
That's fire.
So I had to like I said, my parents were real religious, so I had to sneak and find my rap music. So even me writing my first record at 8 years old, like I remember I wrote it on like it was a take your kid to work day, and they gave us like a bunch of like sticky notes and shit. And I remember I wrote my first rap on one of them sticky notes. But I was still having to hide my stuff and whatnot. So yeah, like
So it's basically it was in your destiny, you know what I'm saying? So I guess you felt this even though you might have been so raised in North Carolina. So when did you make the North Carolina move back to New York?
So basically, it's interesting because like I always knew, like especially when I started writing music, that my goal was to come back to New York to really pursue that more. Just because especially in that we in a different day and age where you can kind of be anywhere and grow your following, but at that time it was more of like you got to be in California or New York if you really want to be in the mecca of music and like really grow your shit. So I always knew that I wanted to come back to New York to push that. So when I was 17, I kind of took my own path. My parents were doing their religious stuff, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different.
Word.
So I went away to college, and I was like, you know what? Let me have a plan B in case music don't work. But after 3 years of being miserable there, I'm like, I don't want a plan B, because a plan B really just means you think your plan A gonna fail. And if you think it's gonna fail,
like that.
it probably will fail.
Yeah, facts. Like I'm all about the manifestation,
Yeah.
That's a fact.
the good vibes, the frequencies. I'm on my Anunnaki shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
I feel
fact,
you. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly what you're talking about.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because I really do feel like those vibes or whatever that is that you do put out into the world, you're gonna get back. And if you start already having these negative doubts
Absolutely.
and thoughts in your mind, you already
you set
holding
yourself
yourself
up to fail.
back.
That's a fact. You set yourself
So
up, yeah.
I tell a lot of people, especially some people that ask me about this podcast thing, I tell them, like, you know what? Believing is half the battle. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Take that initial first step.
Yes, yo.
And sometimes it just falls into place.
Yeah, man.
That's exactly what happened with me and my man Ant Acid right there in as the producer of this show.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I had an idea. He had an idea. We
That's how it
somehow
takes, man.
came together. And we've been linked ever since the 5th episode. You know
Word.
what I'm saying? And we at like 140 right now.
Word, that's crazy.
So it really does work out that way. You
Yeah,
know what
man.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so now that you've been back in New York and shit like that, what's been the plan in terms of making this music? So you said you did your first rap at 8 years old,
Right.
but what I want to know is, like, when did you put your first track out there? When was that at? You know what I'm saying? When did you really start to
Yeah.
make the transition of like really making it what you're trying to do now? You know what I'm saying?
So it was around the same time. It was like my 3rd year in college, and I said, you know what? Like, so I had me and my boys, like we met in high school, and we had a little collective called TDFR, which is Too Dope for Reality. I still got that shit tatted on my neck. Like,
Fire.
that's not the collective now. We kind of went our own ways, but like that's always the roots. That's always
Where you came from and shit.
Some of the bros, there was a little falling out type shit, but it's,
It's all good.
yeah,
I got we
But-
all got that. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
But yeah, so we started making music literally like in his closet, like little like Ableton fucking interface, and like so from there, this was 2015.
Oh, okay.
And I said, you know what, I'm dropping out of school. So I dropped out, went back to North Carolina, saved up some bread, and around that time I dropped my first mixtape, which was Pre-Coronation. And yeah, like
Did you produce it yourself and shit, or?
It was really just YouTube beats, but in terms of like recording it, engineering, like I just recorded, engineered it myself, like in the closet with GarageBand.
GarageBand,
yeah, man.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah,
Where did you drop it? Like how did you, like on SoundCloud or?
SoundCloud, then real throwback Dat Piff, RP to Dat Piff.
Fucking hell yeah,
Piff,
bro.
fucking-
Dat Piff.
Yo,
was
give a
it,
horn to
bro.
Dat Piff,
That's
bro.
a-
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
Bro, I saw that.
They was the ones,
That was
man.
it, yo.
They had so many mixtapes. Like, we've had a bunch of
Early
artists already
internet
on
shit,
this
bro,
show.
yo.
There's not almost one artist that wasn't on our show that don't have some Dat Piff mixtape
Dat
out
Piff,
there.
bro.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So yeah, that's where I dropped my first joint, and I mean it was cool. I think the thing with me that is different from a lot of artists is I'm very real with myself. Not even in the sense of like being hard on myself. I think I'm just really realistic. Cause like I thought I should have been signed since I was 8 years old. Like,
Yeah.
But realistically, it was more of just ego talking. But like, so even that first mixtape, it wasn't hard. It was not that. It had a couple joints on it that was, that was solid, but that really is what set the ball in motion. I sent it to a A&R at Epic, and I was really working on getting a internship at the time. So I said, you know what? Yeah, all the directions are pointing me to drop out, leave this college shit. So yeah, like I said, I dropped that tape 2015, moved back to North Carolina, saved up bread for like a year, and came to New York in 2016.
Oh, fire.
I've been dropping stuff moderately consistently since I came up here, but I ain't gonna lie, them first couple years I got caught up type shit, with the
That's
fun of
New
New
York,
York.
bro.
Yeah,
Exactly.
hell yeah.
The fun, the women,
all of that.
all of that. But
No,
That's
we
New
know.
York City shit right
Hell
there,
yeah.
bro.
man,
It's
But
different.
it wasn't
And
until
they-
2019.
They
I
was
got
probably
serious.
loving your ass with that North Carolina shit. You know what I'm saying? It was different, because
Yeah, they know
you
I was a
know.
North Carolina nigga. They
yeah,
knew,
especially
they
in the
knew.
beginning,
Yeah.
especially when you first came out here.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I always
It's-
had that perspective, bro. Like I probably, if I moved away when I was like right out of high school,
Oh, yeah.
I probably would have fucking did my shit, like
Oh,
completely nailed it, you know.
Oh yeah.
But New York
You
City
see-
shit, bro.
Yeah,
like,
my move in that high school time was within New York City because I started high school in Queens. You know what I'm saying, and then moved to the Bronx my junior year. So then that move to the Bronx in junior year just
Shit got different.
put me on another level. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea I was this fly. You know what I'm saying? Until I got here, then it was like,
That's it.
no, you a fly nigga. And I was like, pfft, true that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Heard
saying?
it.
Fuck out of here. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like,
What are we talking about?
you know, sound
That's
about right.
Give me my respect.
Yeah, So that was that put the set the ball in motion. But now I'm retired. I got a
some
wife and a
respect
kid
on
and
my
shit
shit.
like
I feel you,
that.
bro.
You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you. Nah,
But
same,
back
man.
then it is,
I feel
it made me feel myself. So I know that's what it is and shit like that. But in terms of you making this music, what has been some of your inspirations that really started this? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was an artist, a family member, some shit like that.
Yeah.
But like along those lines in terms of starting to make music.
I feel like there's a couple different inspirations or a couple different avenues of inspiration. So like my grandma, she was actually like a performer in like bars and whatnot in
Wow, that's
like
fire.
probably like the 60s, 70s, probably 80s type shit as well.
Word.
And then, I got aunts as well who also are amazing singers. And so I also feel like it was just kind of in my blood as well. But because they never really got to fully expand as to where they wanted to go with it. I've got an aunt who was on like Making the Band like years ago was it Making the Band? Nah, I think it was something else, but something along them lines.
Word.
But where she ended up winning actually like out in California. But all these people
Wow, that's
that like
fire.
they have potential to really like take it somewhere. And so I feel like it was always
So it's in your
my-
bloodline, man.
in my blood,
Yeah.
but almost like a generational curse as well, because I feel like they let a lot of things get in the way of where they wanted to go with it. So there's that avenue, but then also, since I wasn't allowed to, listen to rap music like that growing up, I was exposed to so many different genres, whether it be Nora Jones, Michael Bublé, Linkin Park, so many different things. So like I had to sneak and find my rap music, but all the other, genres were being played
Was
in
already-
my
yeah,
house all
yeah.
the time. Yeah. So unknowingly, my parents didn't even realize that they influenced my sound in a way that now there's a lot of artists where I feel like they start making music like in 2020. And so y'all just sound like the typical niggas that are making shit now.
Word.
Me, my background is so diverse that it's like you can't. I get a different comparison every time I talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
Yeah,
so-
your
Yo.
whole mind frame for the setup of what you're actually doing is not even on their level. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
already surpassed them and whatnot.
And honestly, like God bless like your parents and like the way that you were like
Yeah.
you brought up. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing the same shit.
Yeah,
you
yo.
know, like
I'm
like,
thankful for it. I'm
bro,
thankful
like
for it.
I
Yeah.
haven't played my son any rap music.
Yeah.
Like I've played him Cure. I've played him fucking the Smiths. I played him fucking Weezer already. I played him Queen.
That's it,
I've played
yo.
him fucking.
Yeah,
You
yo.
know what I mean? Like just shit that like my wife really likes.
Right,
you know.
right.
But outside of that, also R&B shit. I played him Erykah Badu already. I've played him fucking Solange Knowles. I played him fucking
that's fire,
D'Angelo. I've played him like.
That's fire,
there's like
bro.
so much shit that I've like I've played him that like he's like been into.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
That like
Hell
and
yeah.
the only Outkast shit I played him. The only rap shit I played him one fucking Atlantean song, like one Outkast track, and that's
What,
it.
two dope
bro.
boys in the Cadillac?
Exactly, bro.
You already
I
know.
knew I had to be that one because
Yeah,
that's like
yo.
my favorite song on that album. Two
Yeah.
dope boys in a Cadillac.
Yeah, yo.
yeah, word. You know what? Similar to what you're saying.
But yeah, no, I feel your parents,
No,
bro.
similar. No,
Yeah,
but similar
I
to
get
what
it,
you're
yeah.
saying in terms of my music upbringing is also similar to that as well because I grew up mostly in Queens before I had that little stint in the Bronx for about 5-6 years to where I actually lived there. But before that, like my first music was really like Metallica and like Nirvana and like things like that. Those are the like things I heard when that probably transitioned when I first heard like Wu-Tang and Snoop Dogg. When I first heard like Gin and Juice and like Protect Your Neck. That actually broke that mainstream. That was like on that video music box. I'm like in 5th grade at that time and I'm like what the fuck have I been missing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like
it was
all
literally-
I knew was this other stuff and it was like this and I was just drawn to it.
right,
like
bro.
it was like
Yeah.
I need to hear more. Like
Yes.
these beats, these things like that. Like that's what I wanted. You know? So it was like it was very much how what you're saying is like, you know, you had this type of like influence before because of the people around you. Mine was not necessarily just the people around me. It was just the access of what I had around
Exactly,
me.
the access,
You
bro.
know?
Exactly.
Because when I went to the Bronx more and I started seeing like mixtapes and all of this other shit, it was
That's
like
when it got different. Exactly.
yeah, it was like,
Bro, that's literally
oh,
like
what you mean DJ Clue? What you
Right.
mean Funk Flex mixtape? Like I didn't know this.
right.
Nip go.
What's up, dog?
Nip how?
But yeah,
Nipsey
but-
had to
Rare
make a-
Nip
You-
appear.
Yeah, Nip's had, he's feeling the vibe right now. He's like, yo, what up, B?
He said, let me get a cameo.
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick,
it's
bro.
good, B.
This to like a good
Word.
year. Like,
Word.
Bro, you know what's funny is like it was very similar in the sense of like so like I said that first joint like first rap record that I heard was I don't remember the song exactly but it was off Massacre but like so I'm heavy on 50 Cent at that point and now I start hearing about this rapper saying he's the greatest rapper alive and I'm like in my opinion I'm like it's got to be 50 Cent like this is the
Word.
first thing I ever heard I'm 10 years old like this it's got to be 50 but then so I start doing some research into who this greatest rapper alive is and then I hear Fireman so this rapper was Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
And that's what changed everything for me. As soon as I heard Fireman, I heard Lil Wayne. That's when I said, okay, like I gotta do this shit now too. Like because it was just amazing to me to find somebody who could use these metaphors and similes to tell a story. That was the most miraculous thing to me that you could actually use words and put them together in this way to tell a story. And that's why I said, you know, I gotta be a part of this.
Word, nah, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, nah, that's what's up. So in terms of like how many projects do you actually have? Like right now, like that you've done, like and where are they at?
So
That people could find them.
So I did that first mixtape, like I said, in like 2015. And then I released my second mixtape, which was Blank Space, in, what was that, 2018, I believe. And it was just like a little EP, like a little 5-track EP.
Okay, cool.
But honestly, I took both of those off of streaming sites because I just realized it didn't represent me as to who I am as an artist. Like, it does tell my story, but I always say my turning point, you know, I know I've been writing since I was 8, put that first tape out 2015, but I really say that like my turning point was 2019 because that's when I released my first single that I really feels like encapsulates who I am as an artist. And the record is called I Killed Myself in Cali 90210.
Yeah, that shit was fire. I
Yeah,
listened to that.
Appreciate you. So yeah, that's when I really feel like I found my sound. Because if you hear my earlier stuff, like I just feel like there was a lot of anger in it. It was more being like that angry, misunderstood kid, you know. And I feel like I just found
you're growing up, man.
Yeah, you know, I'm getting old.
That's what happens.
You're getting wise, baby.
angsty.
You're
Exactly,
getting wise.
yeah.
Life experiences allow you to understand more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I
feel
knew
you.
that there was another way that I wanted to take it, because like music has always been my therapy, and it got to a point where it wasn't therapeutic for me in the same way. So I knew I needed to change something and express, you know, myself in a different way. And so that's when I first released that record. So since then, I've really just been doing singles. So I've got about like, I don't know, maybe like 9-10 singles out right now. On my SoundCloud, I still got a couple of the old records sprinkled around there. Most of them are hidden, but one day I'll re-release them to the public to you know just give people honestly inspiration of
Like a lost tapes.
Yeah, exactly. But more about, because I know the music ain't even that great, the old stuff. I'm not gonna lie, like, but for more of inspiration of like, I get a lot of DMs from artists like, oh, I don't know where to start, or like I'm not confident, and like just let people know my shit did not sound like this when I first started, yo.
Yeah.
It did not sound like this. So this is where I started. So that's why I would like to re-release some of that stuff, just to let people know, and even show myself like in a vulnerable sense of like, this ain't my best work, but this is where it starts, and you just got to do it. You just got to put it out, you know?
No, I feel that. And in terms of like making these tracks, what starts the process for you? Is it like you fishing through beats and then you find something and that's the one you stew it to, or do you already have an idea in your mind where it's like, this is the concept I want, and writing something to it and then finding a beat for it, or you know where does that kind of come from? Because you know, I think everybody is different
For sure.
in terms of how they want to create their music. You know, some of them already have an idea, they write the flow, but sometimes you gotta really try to find a beat to actually maybe mimic how you really want to
Right.
present it out there. But in terms of what your process is, well, how do we do that?
I mean, it depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. Like, there are some moments where I'll go through a bunch of different beats that like producers have sent me, and I'll just sit there and see what the beat says to me. Like, I feel like a lot of times I let the instruments kind of tell me what I want to speak about. But recently, and it, honestly, it's always been like that. But recently, over the last couple of years, I've found a lot of enjoyment in just building an idea from scratch, of just being like, all right, this is what I want to talk about, and how can I expand on that? And then maybe I'll try and find a beat that I feel like the idea and the instruments kind of mesh together. But it depends, honestly. Like, there's some times where a record will take me an hour to make, and then there's another time where it'll take me months or years. There's some records where I've been working on these joints for years, because I know these beats and the feeling that I get from them is so heavy that I'm like, I gotta give this the proper attention, and I don't care how long it takes. But yeah, it really just depends on where I'm at and the things that are going on in life. Because also I like to take a step back from writing every now and then to just experience life. So that you know, I have more things to come back and talk about. I feel like a lot of artists
inspirations.
Are like, exactly. You know, I feel like a lot of artists are like, oh, you got to be writing every single day. I don't necessarily prescribe to that narrative. You know, I like to experience life and not put that pressure on myself. And it's not about getting the burst of inspiration, because waiting for that burst of inspiration could kill you sometimes. But just experiencing life and not putting that pressure on yourself, and knowing that you're making this. Yeah, you want to put it out to the public, but you're making it for you at the end of the day.
Facts.
So, and you got to be the first person in that process. You can't just be, oh, I got to make something. I got to make a banger. I got to make a club hit. I got to make a. Nah, you're making it for you to start with. So, you know, I don't like to put that pressure on myself. So the creativity flows within that space, you know.
Word. So as artists, because as I heard your music, I know it definitely has a hip hop feel, but you're not necessarily like rhyming. You're like also like singing and harmonizing and things of that. So I seen it. I was like, oh, you have a talent with putting like these songs together. When can the people expect some new work coming out, man?
So we got a lot of shit. So I've got honestly about like 60, 70 tracks just like in the stash
Waiting.
right now. Yeah.
Wow.
But the
60,
thing is,
70.
yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. It might be a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, but
All right.
the thing is, like, a lot of those records, I feel like they are still in line some way with my current sound and my current expression, but I really just want to put some of those out because I'm going in another direction. I feel like we kind of starting to branch into another era of what I'm trying to do. So, but right now I've got a couple collabs. I got a dope London artist who's a member of my collective Lost Kids Cult.
Okay.
Which, yeah, you know, you see that this the first
Yeah, we're
drop.
gonna get into the branding.
Yeah, you know.
Hold on. Word.
But yeah, so I got a dope collab with this artist, Jadida Lentz, who's out in London. So I got a dope collab with her coming out within this year. Now I got another collab with I don't know if you heard of this artist, Baby Goth. You know, she got a couple records with Slim Jimmy from Ray Shremmer, Wiz Khalifa. You know, a couple different.
Yeah, I believe I heard the name before.
Yeah, she's fire as fuck. So I got a collab coming out with her this year as well.
Oh, sure.
Which, you know, I ain't letting know any dates yet, but
No. At
probably
least
within
people could look on that.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
know,
for sure. But probably
you know,
within the
make-
next like month or two, I would say at least one of these records is coming out, and the next one is gonna be called "She Died a Fashion Killer," which that's all I'm gonna say. You know, the record will tell what we talking about. on that, you know?
Word.
But yeah, that shit's gonna go crazy. I'm gonna probably debut it at a couple upcoming shows I got in London and in Brooklyn. So
Oh, that's fire.
yeah.
That's fire. Word, man. So you doing your thing, man. I really want to give you your own flower, give you your flowers
I
and shit
appreciate
to a
you, man.
testament of what you're doing and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Thank
you know a lot of people nowadays they really want the love, but they don't necessarily want to put the work in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
very rarely do you get it like that. You know, it comes like most of these
time,
artists
yeah.
will really tell you that they've really put in years of dedication and sleepless nights or whatever you want to call it to their craft and maintaining that, and now it's really coming through
Facts.
to fruition for you. So I want to salute you, you know what I'm saying, and
I appreciate you,
give
bro.
you your
Thank you.
love. You know
Appreciate you.
exactly. You
Appreciate
know what time it is. Manny Theo in the fucking building.
That's it.
You know, the cult.
Mhm.
This is the branding.
Yes, sir.
Let's explain more of that. Where's that coming from? What maybe inspired that, and maybe where they can find some of the merch and whatnot.
Yeah, yo. So, it's honestly funny because I feel like people they hear the word cult and it's like negative connotation, or they think because nowadays like there's so many of these artists where it's like they want to be on like this demonic like agenda, and I think when they hear the word cult, they just kind of group me into that shit. And they're like, oh, here goes another one. And actually, it's the complete opposite.
Word.
Because, so I said I grew up very religious, but in reality, what I grew up in is what I see as a cult.
Mm-hmm.
And I escaped that when I was 16, 17 and started to go my own route. And within that cult, they kind of wanted me to suppress my true self for their agenda. And I feel like there's so many different avenues in life where that same idea is put out of like, you got to suppress yourself for our agenda, and if you don't, you're wrong and you got to go. So I decided to make my brand called Lost Kids Cult. So basically we just represent all the people that have been forgot about, all the people that have been disrespected, all the people that have been left behind by the people who should have cared about you the most. And our shared idea is love and pushing each other to reach our full potential. No matter what that is, whether you're trying to be a musician, whether you're trying to be a doctor, whether you're trying to, it don't matter. Like, we're just all trying to reach our goal and not letting
Facts.
anybody deter us from what we're trying to do. And that's really just the mantra of what Lost Kids Cult is.
That's fire.
Because, there's a lot of people that don't get to tell their story, yo. There's a lot of people who are, just suppressed at the end of the day, and I want to be the voice
The
that
outlet.
says exactly like
Word.
it's all right,
get
talk your shit, like be the most confident version of yourself. Like if you listen to Manny Theo, if you fuck with Lost Kids Cult, you somebody that believes in yourself, you know. Like I appreciate the support that comes with me, but you're somebody that believes in yourself, and that's what I try and speak on, whether I'm talking to fans in DMs, whether I'm on stage, whether I'm releasing a record. At the end of the day, it's self-love, and can't nobody take that away from you.
Facts.
You know?
Facts, man. Because you really what some people don't really realize is that, you know, sometimes you really need to start loving yourself first to get that output and that progress that you need to make in this life. Or, you know, that's where it comes from, to believe in yourself, you know? Because a lot of times believing in yourself is half the battle, bro.
Right.
But that's it. You'll
fact.
never know how much, and I've said this before, but you'll never know how many blessings you blocked just by doubting yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just believing that you didn't think that you could do it.
Yeah.
You know?
That ass.
And that's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about taking that initial first step in and whatever it is you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You might be a fucking you might like to crochet blankets.
Right.
Well, fucking
That's it. Be the
make
best
that
at it.
blanket and
Right.
and try to sell it, dog.
Right.
Like that's it.
Exactly.
You know, make that one page, take a picture, put it out there, make a gram.
Exactly.
Gotta get a Gmail, whatever the hell it is,
That's
but
it,
do
yo.
it. And then now you could be the best blanket maker.
Right.
Whoever knows.
That's it.
You know?
Exactly. Now you making money off of what makes you happy, and
Word.
that's what they don't want, yo. That's what the powers that be don't want, yo. They want you to prescribe to their agenda.
Facts.
And you know, they give you a little paycheck at the end of the week, so you forget about what actually makes you happy. Because for that moment, you got that. Oh, I can pay my bills and I can buy my food. Life is more than that, yo. It's more than that. They don't want you to remember that.
Yeah, you get caught into this cycle of living life because
The cog.
Exactly.
The cog.
Exactly. Pushing the machine.
The perpetual indentured servitude.
Exactly.
Word.
All right. The perpetual debt. Get a credit card. You always have to pay the credit card company.
Yeah.
Every month you're paying the credit card company. You're working every month. You're basically working
To pay bills.
To pay bills.
Yeah. We as humans, we fucked it up, yo. We could have had it so easy, but instead we out here paying bills
Yep.
and
Yeah,
doing
facts.
this credit card
To a
shit.
goddamn credit card company
Right.
that we got no part of.
Literally.
Word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Making them rich as hell.
That we have no
Facts.
idea who the hell has a part of.
Exactly. But that's why we breaking the mold, and that's
Yeah.
why, you know, that's what, you know, we as Lost Kids Cult stand for. I know, like, you know, we was having that conversation. I know y'all stand for that. Just getting out there and doing it, yo.
Yeah,
just
for
do
real.
it. And whatever happens, whatever comes from it, great.
That's
but
right.
at least you know you was true to yourself. You know.
Yep. You can't. You'll if you live like that, you won't have no regret.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So if if you choose not to live like that or you doubt yourself, then that regret might always live in the back of your head of what could have been.
That's a fact.
You know,
I
so
drink to that.
facts. I need another drink. If you could pass me one of those summer bangers
Got you.
that I've been sipping on. So I got one last question before we get into the track. You know what I'm saying?
Right, no doubt.
Who is your top 5 like favorite like artists? Like I don't. It doesn't necessarily have to be rappers or whatever it is. If you want it to be rappers, that's cool and whatnot. Like I have my own 5 favorite rappers, but then I have my own 5 like favorite artists of like non-rap. You know what I'm saying? That just really
You could
inspire
conform
me.
the two.
Or
as
you
well.
can conform the
That's
two
a
however you want to do it.
And
But I want to.
It doesn't have to
because
be.
a
It
lot
doesn't
of-
have to be 1 through 5.
Right,
it
right.
could literally just be your top 5.
Your top 5. I got you. So I feel like I have different top 5s in the sense of, yeah, like how you said, like I've got my top 5 rappers and then I've got my top 5 influences.
So let's hear them.
So my top 5 rappers comes from a place of, I feel like influence is what makes you top 5. Like if you really shape the culture, you shape the generation, you know, whatever. So my top 5 is Tupac, Kanye,
Pac. Okay.
Lil Wayne,
Okay.
Jay-Z,
Jigga.
and then controversial number 5, Eminem.
Eminem. Why controversial?
Because everyone is like, how could Eminem be one of the top 5 greatest rappers? And just based on, I don't know, I feel like they try and give him his disrespect because he's white, or the fact of like, I don't know. But to me, it's like, almost every artist you could say, oh, he sounds like him, or oh, you can hear the influence of. You don't hear no influence, nobody in this day and age that's like, oh, he's like Eminem. The closest thing that you could have said at one point was maybe Tyler the Creator when he first came out, because he was saying wild shit. But like, honestly, the fact that he is in so much of his own lane, you gotta give him top 5, because can't nobody replicate that. Can't no, but like you really can't. Like, he's just that different. So
yeah, I don't. But neither me or Jones thinks that's controversial. I don't put him in my top 5, but I don't disagree with that being in anyone's top 5.
Because I respect him. Like, he's been in my top 5 throughout times in my life. Like, in terms of my favorite hip hop artists, my 5 constantly change. In terms of my favorite, it's definitely Nas, Jadakiss, Ghostface, Big Pun, and it was Eminem, but like right about now it's Cameron. Like
heavy New York top 5.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You know?
I'm almost on the same page. It's like all New York fucking people.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, we come from there is a little bit of a generational gap. So like, I think more people in my generation probably have a dead rapper in their top 5 as opposed to someone from your generation that is like, they ain't die. You know what I'm saying? They alive. You know, Big L dying, Big Pun dying, Biggie dying, Tupac dying. Like, oh, but you had Pac. So Pac is
that's what's
a dead rapper.
Well, that's what's fucked up about mine too. Is like, my top 5 influences are basically all dead. Like,
oh, okay.
So
let's hear those, so people can get an understanding of some of the influences of the music that you make.
I feel like, so my top 5 influences are XXX.
Okay.
Juice WRLD.
Okay.
Lil Peep.
Okay.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. And J.
Cole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, man. It's rough. Unfortunately, and what's crazy about that is, out of all of those, there's only two that I got to see in person. I got to see J. Cole at the Garden, which was incredible. One of the only concerts I ever cried at. And then I saw Juice WRLD right before he passed, and it was
fire,
bro. It was sick too, because I almost didn't even go to that concert. Yo.
Word.
Like,
and now it's a memory you never leave.
And X, I was supposed to see him like 3 different times, and each time, I think one time he got locked up, another time his cousin passed, and then third time something else happened, and then I didn't get to see him. But
as someone that is a punk kid and like a metal kid, like I truly appreciate like XXX Tentacion.
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
Nah, I really like the kid, like him, Denzel, like,
yeah, bro. That era was crazy. That 2016, 17
Ski Mask. I like all those dudes, bro.
Hell yeah.
Word.
But yeah, man. Crazy.
Yeah, that's fire.
Crazy.
That's fire. Yeah, mine is more of my other music is more of like an R&B, like a straight old school like Beatle thing, and then that rock and roll.
Old school Beatle thing.
Yeah, no, but and Motown. Like, I do like a lot of like that old.
Yeah, you got the R&B soul shit down.
Yeah. For me, like,
so you say a little bit of classic rock.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
R&B soul, and then straight hip hop.
I love.
Same,
I love music, bro.
Yeah,
I really do, man. Like, I could literally go from like Hall and Oates to Nirvana to fucking Lauryn Hill, then Aaliyah, then fucking, Metallica, and then come back with another fucking Smokey Robinson, like all of that, just like in a succession, like one after another, and be mad happy, like, oh my god,
but as a New
Yorker,
the only shit that I don't fuck with is like neo country.
That's, you know what?
I don't do the country thing.
I can't do the
country thing.
I can't do the country shit, bro.
Nah.
I can't. But you know what's crazy is like
My pickup truck.
right, exactly. I love my wife and she cheated. Like, bro, I can't do it, bro. I can't.
I kind of fuck with. I can't lie. I do fuck with where some of them songs came from. Like,
Right.
I could feel the pain
From
in
the
that
pain,
man's
bro. I
voice for
feel
that
you,
fucking
man.
whore. You little fucking whore. You fucking
can't
bitch.
And you took my dog, you
Yeah,
bitch.
and the dog too. Shit like that. Like, I definitely feel that dude, yo. Like, my bad, bro. I'm feeling Word. Shit.
Right, it's the delivery though that I can't, bro. Like,
Word.
and you would think, like, growing up in North Carolina, that like I could get with the twang of the country. I
Nah.
can't, but I will say that I do love like acoustic guitar and shit like that. So even some of my upcoming records, like I have influenced it a little bit, where maybe some people could say it's like, ooh, is this kind of country? Which, you know, whatever they feel, whatever the people feel, but yeah, nah, that's honestly the only thing I don't really listen to heavy. Everything else, nah, I feel you. Like,
Word.
yeah, bro.
That's what's up. So as we well, you're definitely gonna rock with us for the rest of the show,
Oh,
but we're
yeah.
gonna wind down
Heavy.
and end the interview part of this shit. But I do want to play this track, "Stop Calling My Friends." This is the one that dropped in November. This one that's getting a bunch of love, over 800,000 views on YouTube.
Oh, that's where we at now.
That's where you at right now.
Okay, all right,
803,000
all right. We knocking on the
views.
mill.